celebrating our 100th episode and finally wrapping up this goddamn sermon series we've been going through. This is the final episode in Crossroads Church's Rock Solid series on deconstruction, because Rock Solid is a wonderful title for a series about deconstruction, but it kind of tells you what they think about it. And in this final episode, like before, up until this point, we've been kind of wondered, like, what do they actually think of deconstruction? Do they think it's good? Do they think it's bad? How are they actually defining it? Well, finally tonight, Brian answers it, and like fairly early on says, "Here's how I define deconstruction." So, and
we should point out the target of the sermon series. It was not evident in the beginning, but as it went on, it became more evident that this is targeted towards Christians who are probably afraid of deconstructing or are scared, but they're not that far into it. The people that have come to the conclusion that they want out of Christianity because of reasons, those are bad reasons, according to them, according to these videos. And this video series has completely written off those people. Like, this is not for them. They're a lost cause.
Yeah. I would say the other audience,
very Calvinist of them.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I would say the other audience for this is people who are not themselves deconstructing or even considering it, but maybe there's like friends or family members of theirs who are deconstructing and they're worried and scared. Like, what are they doing? He goes ahead and defines deconstruction for us, which again, like throughout this whole series, like this is like the moment I've been waiting for. Okay, he's finally just saying, here's what deconstruction is. But it might be the worst definition for deconstruction I've ever heard, but not that I want to poison the well on it, but let me know what.
That's a great pause. Look at that face.
Yeah. You're welcome.
And this message actually ties really well to the last message where we talked about deconstruction. What is deconstruction? Deconstruction, as I'm defining it, is allowing your doubts and the doubters to destroy your faith.
Allowing deconstruction, as he's defining it, is allowing the doubt and the doubters to destroy your faith.
Yep. Now that's wrong on its face. Also, remember last week when he went through it was like 5 things that like cause people to deconstruct.
Yeah, like the reasons they do it. Yeah.
Yeah, like the first 2 were things that like happen to people, like bad teaching, which okay, and then the second one was abuse, and he did like a whole essay example that was like abrupt and could have been very jarring or hurtful for people to hear unexpectedly. And he landed on not really saying like, yeah, it's understandable they would deconstruct, but didn't say it was understandable they would leave. And that felt kind of intentional. And then he gives this bullshit this week where he labels even those first 2 as giving into the doubts and giving into the doubters. Not like, I literally can't be in a church anymore because of the trauma. Like anything that reminds me of that, I relive it. Well, that's on you. That's your fault.
Yeah.
That's so fucking dark, man.
Yeah, it's like they definitely have that negative attitude towards people who like just leave. It's like they can't.
They must be weak.
Even fathom that they can't even fathom that it's their fault. Yeah. So Ember here says the way he phrased that was a bit strawmanish, but not entirely wrong. Translation. I thought about it and realized I don't have good reasons to believe equals doubts.
Right.
Yeah. Only hurt you because I love you. Yep. All right. Yeah. According to Crossroads, love is enduring abuse.
Only if it's godly abuse. Wait, no. No, because he says something later about marriage. And the implication is endure the abuse.
Oh, so. Yeah. Yep. All right. So let's get to that, among other things. All right. So with that as our foundation of a terrible definition of deconstruction. So to Brian, it's basically deconstructing is you giving in and giving up and losing your faith and ruining your life. So with that as our baseline, let's see what else he has to say.
We live in an age of skepticism. People love to be cynical. People love to find fault in things, find fault in people, to see the flawed logic, to call hypocrisy whenever we see it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When people find faults, that means the faults are there to be found. And usually finding them is a good thing. And again, he's going to completely undermine what he's saying right now with a later illustration about like finding imperfections and flaws and things, but he doesn't realize it. He won't realize it when he's doing it because it's like he's trying to make a completely different point. But
by calling them faults,
so
you're accepting that there are faults and they're real. That somebody found them.
Yeah.
Don't pay attention to them.
No, but I think what he's trying to say is like, oh, you're just trying to find faults. Because that's something, I don't remember if it was him last week, but I remember in one of the previous sermons, whoever was speaking said something about like, if you're looking for something, you're going to find it. Meaning like, if you're looking for problems with Christianity, or if you're looking for reasons to lose your faith or leave the church or whatever, you're going to find it. But on the contrary, if you're looking for Jesus, you're going to find Jesus.
Yeah, the lack of self-awareness is staggering.
Yes, I mean, counterpoint, looked for Jesus for over 30 years, never found shit. So
we got a puppy coming through.
Right. All these doctors, they just love to find all these diseases and disorders just so they can fix them. Bullshit. Yeah. Ooh, are we going to have are we going to have a puppy on cam?
We're going to see a puppy.
Yay.
She might try to eat my face. She's a bull boxer pit, and she's a pit bull boxer mix. And wait, where'd everybody go?
No, I'm here. I just made you big because we wanted to see the puppers.
Yep. Her name is Zoe, and she's wearing a sweater because it's cold.
So yeah, where were we? Yeah, honestly blanking. So let's just back him up a second.
Puppies will do that.
Oh yeah, we're talking people like finding faults and how it's like. Yeah, I mean, if they're there, you want to find the faults. So it's because the problem with churches like Crossroads and a lot of Christians like this is it's almost like they have zero capacity for introspection. Like when someone says, I have this problem with Christianity, or my problem with this teaching that your church is doing. Because here's the thing, like they'll talk about like abuse or like harmful teaching from the church, but like it's always someone else's church or like someone else is doing this. Like it's not us, it's not me that's doing this bad thing. Like I'm offering you the real truth, real deal, dude.
Well, God told us to do this. I don't know where you're getting your shit. Like that. That's what it feels like.
Yep. But yes, it is a rule of the internet. Cats and dogs and such get full screen, and Pibbles are the bestest ever.
To see the flawed logic, to call hypocrisy whenever we see it. And we get so used to trying to see through somebody that we never actually see something that we want to build our life on.
What if you find a bunch of faults and so therefore you're like, this is some shitty ground to build on?
Yeah, or
all these cracks.
Yeah, or what if it's not necessarily the point in finding faults in one thing, and then you necessarily have to find something else? It's like sometimes just pointing out the faults in a thing is good enough. Like you don't necessarily have to be looking through it to something else on the other side necessarily.
Did he kind of just say don't pay attention to the flawed logic? Because like literally nothing that's illogical can exist. Like science and math kind of like remove that as a possibility. Mm-hmm. We haven't found anything that exists that technically shouldn't yet.
Yeah, well, but the Trinity though, that's totes real.
And we get so used to trying to see through somebody that we never actually see something that we want to build our life on. C.S. Lewis, who was a later in life convert to Christianity.
Also, people who like deconstruct and like find flaws in the logic of Christianity, like they never build their life on something else after that, but he'll get to that.
Tell us what you think of this quote. Tell us if this is a helpful, cohesive thought at all.
C.S. Lewis said this: You cannot go on explaining away forever. You'll find that you have explained explanation itself away. You cannot go on seeing through things forever. The whole point of seeing through something is to see something through it.
Let's get that quote back up there. Yeah, it's like, first of all, like I meant to actually look this up in context to be like, was that what C.S. Lewis was actually talking about? But then I thought, I kind of don't care, because even if that was what he's talking about, like, who's okay? This is what C.S. Lewis thought. So fucking what?
This is just an assertion. Like why can't we go on explaining away? So far, it's worked. We just keep finding new explanations for the way things are in science, or with science, and yeah, we kind of have explained away a lot of explanation because we understand how the human brain works pretty well. At least, okay, not how it does things, but like what it does, we're getting a much better handle on. So eventually, if everything can be explained with science, then eventually explanation itself does have an explanation. And that doesn't mean it goes away. It just means we have it's like an Ouroboros of nesting dolls. And you can't go on seeing through things forever, because literally everything is nothing. Like everything is quantum particles, which are not things that behave like things. And so everything that is not a thing behaving like a thing.
Plus, and this is something that just occurred to me, like does this not contradict what Kyle was saying a couple weeks ago about how the whole point of seeking after Jesus was to just keep seeking and never fully understand and never really find the answers?
Yeah.
Like,
he should have run that by his mentor.
No, here's the thing. They probably did, because there's so many things in this series that contradict each other. Like that's just the way apologetics, Christianity in general, really, that's just the way it works.
Self-referential, but also self-defeating.
Because the Bible is so non-monolithic or univocal, as some apologists might say. Univocal, maybe? That's how I prefer, but what do I know? But when you try to make it that way, like that's where all these contradictions come in. So it's basically, there's no way to have a consistent biblical faith without it being contradictory. Yeah.
That's that's C.S. Lewis flexing outside his lane. So Antjer says C.S. Lewis is warning against trying to define is, like trying to define being itself. Wouldn't that also be God?
Ooh. One might think. Here's what's really happening. Warning against thinking too much. And
I had a spiritual mentor say something very similar to me. Like, he didn't say you're thinking too much, but he was kind of like, you don't need to try to figure everything out. This is before I knew I was autistic, and I didn't realize that was like a harmful thing to say to an autistic person.
Because like, here's the thing, I actually do.
What? Making me stop. Like, that's just how it happens.
The whole point of seeing through something is to see something through it. There is this great fixation that many have of finding faults in faith, finding faults in Christendom, instead of actually building our life. What are we trying to see?
But what if the faults are actually there, though? Like, he never addresses that. He just says it's wrong to look for faults, like just assuming that they're not there. Or if they are there, then that's not the real thing. But
this is not a man who enjoys thinking very much about many things. He's like,
oh wow, in the UK,
don't look for problems in the foundation. Just assume the foundation is good and build on it.
Right? Yeah, it's the presuppositions. Yeah, it just bugged me so much, this whole assumption that just looking for flaws in Christianity is apparently the wrong way to go about it. And I'm like, but what if they're there, Brian? Like, if people are finding flaws, what if those are actual flaws? But again, no capacity for introspection on any of this shit.
No, that's dangerous. Don't do that.
What are we trying to hold on to? What's our life becoming?
What are we trying to hold on to? Or I'm trying to hold on to, like, having a grasp on reality. and figuring out what's actually true. Like you told me to do on the first episode, like find truth. I'm like, okay.
I mean, it seems key.
Yeah. Like once again, like I feel like I hammer on this a lot, but that was one of the reasons I deconverted, because like coming off of surviving stage 4 cancer and thinking I was dying and already starting to like reconsider some things, but then like saying, oh, I'm not dying anymore, and like having my whole world rocked like that. And I'm like, okay, feeling like I had this whole like second lease on life or whatever you want to call it. Like, okay, going forward, like how, like what do I want my life to be now? What's important to me? What am I going to focus on? And really what it came down to was I don't want to be building my life on anything that isn't real. And the more I examine Christianity, like I said, going into that experience and like so much more coming out of it, like the more I examine, it's like, yeah, there's really nothing here that I can see is actually real. A lot of people think it is. They have all their different thoughts, but the more I ask about, well, how do you know this is true? How do you know this is true? I hear all these different ideas about God and Jesus and the Bible and everything. How does any of you know which of this is true? And I never got a solid answer other than, well, it's just what I choose to believe. That's what it always came down to. I'm like, and they're like, oh, it just takes faith. I'm like, okay, well, I don't have faith, so I guess I'm out. So
you just got to trust Jesus. God will do wonders in you. Also, he won't if it's your fault.
see, you got to remember that part.
Don't see many deconstructionists who see through the false claims of Christianity and then build a great life. Cynicism.
That was a claim.
Yeah, that was a claim.
Of all the claims of all the claims of all time, that was one of them. So
all he needs is I'm subscribed to Jim Palmer's Substack. I think he has a Substack. So all you gotta do is read some Jim Palmer stuff, like even like a short little essay, and you're like, that guy's got some shit figured out. Like you might not agree with him, but like he's done some serious like self-reflection and like experiences a good life. So yeah.
Oh, well, you see misinterpretations. You're not real. Like you do not exist, according to Brian. So sorry to inform you, but
I don't know anybody who's deconstructed and left Christianity and stayed away from Christianity who says my life sucks now compared to how it was.
Literally none. Whereas Carlton says here, these kinds of Christians are pussies, to put it lightly. Appreciate that. I'm not Christian, but I know some Christians who truly deconstructed their own beliefs and ended up with a stronger faith. Got to respect that. Yeah, me too. Like I know plenty of people who just like full on deconstructed, like literally like put everything on the table, re-examined everything, but then came back and like, you know what? I do still have faith in like whether it's Jesus or just the concept of God or even certain aspects of Christianity and or the Bible or whatever. And yeah, they're like, my life is great now. Like I have a super strong faith now that I have deconstructed it and rebuilt on like what I found was solid. And it's like, yeah, I mean, these people are everywhere. Again, tell me you didn't actually talk to anyone who deconstructed without telling me you didn't actually talk to anyone who deconstructed when putting together this sermon series. Like this
or really try to find anyone, because that statement where he didn't see anybody who has like a decent life after deconstructing. Like, did you only read the horror stories in Christian publications where people are like, I deconstructed last year and my life is really hard now? It's like, well, no shit. Your entire worldview like shifted, and that's entirely destabilizing. It is rough at first.
Yeah, or like I'm assuming a lot of these stories were probably people who came back to Christianity because they were like similar to like a while ago we talked about Greg Boyd and his apparent flirt with atheism that he had at some point. But when he talked about what he thought atheism was, a lot of people, it seems like they don't even necessarily understand what atheism is. Like they think it's nihilism. They think it's just nothing means anything. Everything is hopeless. And they're like, yeah, that sucks. So I can understand why you thought hopelessness was hopeless, but yeah, that's not the experience. Like again, like talk to somebody, Brian, who's deconstructing. Like we're all here. Like I'm here, Matt's here, misinterpretations is here. We're not that I'm volunteering you, Marin, if you don't want, but yeah, it's so low stress without feeling like I'm wrong and sinning all the time. Yes, and that's something I was talking about with my therapist earlier today. about how it's so much better to go through life and just be able to experience things as they are and not have to put it through that filter of, okay, well, what does God think of this? What does the Bible say about this? Is this sin? Is this good? Is like, should I be dwelling on this? Is like, how should I be reframing this? Like, is this demons? You know, just go through life and just experience things as they are and be able to just talk about things as they are. It's so much better.
Yeah, there's a it's like a unique elevated anxiety that happens when you're into religion, and like, you know, like the deeper you get into it, that you kind of, I don't know if it's because we're told that it's a sign that we're more connected to God, or if we like that's something we like people just came up with on their own because it's a different kind of elevated anxiety. But it's a special kind of hypervigilance that like makes us feel more alive or connected to bigger whatever. But it is elevated anxiety. Like, I completely recognize it that way now.
Yeah, for sure. But all right, so yeah, misinterpretations is down. So like I said, Brian, or if anyone from Crossroads is watching this, if you want to talk to someone who's actually gone through a deconstruction and this didn't happen, we're here. Please talk to us. We would love it.
And skepticism is a foundation that is not stable enough that's going to enable you to get as high as you actually want to get. So the problem.
Was anybody else disturbed by that when he's like, it's not stable enough? That it creeps me out. It's
so
very psycho clown.
Yeah, so let's see that again.
Foundation that is not stable enough that's going to enable you.
That's just so.
Hold on,
it's weirdly aggressive.
Yeah, but it's what he says right after that I also want to touch on here.
Cynicism and skepticism is a foundation that is not stable enough that's going to enable you to get as high as you actually want to get. So
wait, as high as we want to get? I thought it's what God wants.
Yeah.
This sounds like self-improvement, Brian.
Yeah, but also, like, no, Brian, it doesn't get you as high as you think I should want to get.
Right.
Because to him, life without Jesus is hopeless because his faith says that it's hopeless. Therefore, it has to be hopeless. So you can't possibly have a good life without Jesus. That's basically his premise. Once again, reality would like a word. The least stable way to say it.
Yes.
That is a great way to put it.
As we established last week, words are not his first language.
Or at least not the good words.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so really all he's saying is deconstruction isn't going to get my life to where he thinks it should be. To which I say, I don't care. I just do not care.
Because sucks to be you.
Because here's the thing. I am getting my life to a place where I actually do want it to be since leaving Christianity.
And where it's objectively healthier.
Oh, yeah.
How do we know that? Professionals are guiding the way.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I have several professional opinions telling me yes, you are in a healthier place. So, suck it.
But no, the Bible says you need to feel worse to be in a better place. And that's how you know you're better.
Those say you can't hear sarcasm in the written word.
Who needs theology when you have the Bible? That kind of happens a little later too.
No. But you still need theology. But anyway.
The problem for many of us is not so much with Jesus. The problem is with the people who represent Jesus.
For the record, I got plenty of problems with Jesus too. So that's the other thing, because they just assume that Jesus is so awesome that you can't possibly not like him. So therefore, if you have any problems with Christianity, or it's not just Jesus, but like the Bible and God and like the whole gospel message and everything,
Yeah.
in their minds, like, this is just so obviously awesome and amazing and wonderful. Like, you can't possibly not like it unless it's being misrepresented or people doing mean stuff is getting in the way.
Yeah. Who
No.
hurt you?
Yeah. But no, yeah, all that stuff, like, yes, people doing shitty things and misrepresenting Christianity, all that, yeah, that happens. But also, like, it can also be true that the message itself also sucks.